Okay. Hi, everyone. I got here. Yes, I think I'm live. Okay, I'm just waiting for the pages to appear, and I can't see comments at the moment, so let me just double check on my phone. Turn that off. I seem to have frozen on here. Okay. Oh, here we go. All right. Okay, we're good to go. Sorry about that, everyone. Once again, I wanted to stream so I can share my screen. So hi, Di. Oh gosh, hi, Karen. All right. Hello, everyone. Just do some adjustments here. Get my notes up. All right. Today on this Tuesday chat, I thought we could talk about AI. So AI generated images essentially, or just AI in general, and how we could use it for our art. Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? One of my members posted in our Facebook group an image the other day, and I thought it's a really good topic of discussion. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on it as well, actually. More so, what she posted was to do with photographers and people claiming, I suppose, that I'm starting to see more and more myself on Facebook, and just out there in general, but more on Facebook, I suppose. Images like there's one that kept coming up. It was of a dog and a baby in the mud, and saying, oh, look at this amazing, how cute is this baby and dog and all of this. And there, to me, I could tell straight away it was a fake image. It was AI generated, because if you looked at the baby's hands, they looked the same as the dog paws. So, but there was it surprised me. There were so many people on there just saying, oh, what a great photo, And to me, you could totally tell it wasn't real. But I think there could be a lot of confusion with people seeing these images. The one our member shared, it was of a forest with a dog standing in the forest. And I think the problem is people putting those images out there that they've created on AI, and more or less saying they took that photo, or they're not saying anything at all. So I think you could probably tell the difference. Most people, if they've taken the photo, they'll usually say a bit more about it. But those that are sharing photos that are AI generated, that aren't putting any context to it, you can usually tell they're not a real photo. So in regards to photographers, I think that can be quite harmful. But in regard to artists, which photographers are artists too, of course, but we can use AI to help as in our art practice as well. So I think the main thing is AI is here to stay, I'm pretty sure. So we may as well embrace it a little bit if we can. So there's certainly different ways, and there's advantages and disadvantages, of course. So, but I do believe that as a traditional artist, I feel that our work could probably go up in value in years to come, as more of these, AI images and digital images and all of that get more prolific. Then I think hand-painted original art, where you can see the brushstroke and all the rest of it, I think will probably be valued higher, I would say. Diane, I don't have an issue with AI if it's acknowledged and in a separate category in competitions and exhibitions. Yeah, definitely. I think people need to be quite honest about whether, if it is just an AI image that they've used, that they've like just totally created, and then passing that off as a painting or whatever. But I can see there's benefits in using AI image generators to come up with ideas for your art. So whether that needs to be acknowledged, I'm not sure. You could, if you've used, I'll share an example soon, but I think when you go into some of these image generators, you can either type in your text and it comes up with images, and it can be quite hard to get it to generate an image that is exactly what you're thinking. But I think if you're using other people's photos, so say, I'll share with Carla Grace, use one of a horse, say, but she shared the photographer like in a post, and thanks to the photo and that. So with some image generators, you upload photos and can create an image based off of that photo, so you can extend, like get it to add extra details to it, or put that animal in a different setting, things like that. But if you're not using your own photo, I feel then you should still credit the original photographer. If you've just totally created something on AI, so say if you've got something in your head and you've typed it out, you like work through the AI, you've got to generate quite a few to get it to do what you want it to do. You might have used your own photo in there as a reference, and you've just used it to come up with a concept, and then you're creating your painting from that. I don't see any need in crediting anyone other than yourself, because you've just used the image generator as a tool in your process to come up with ideas. Okay, so yeah, Karen, there is a lot of fake in the world today. That's why I think if you are using certain things, yeah, you need to be honest. I hate it when people post these AI generated images on Facebook and try and make out that they took the photo themselves. It's so unrealistic. But I feel as AI gets better and better, I'll show you a site, then that can be quite scary, because a lot of these things are totally just made up. They're not real. And yeah, I don't know. It's a funny subject. That's why I thought I would have a chat about it. Okay, while I was just talking about Carla Grace, I'll see if I can share this. Carla Grace is an Australian artist, wildlife artist. Hold on, just got to share my screen. Okay, so she's doing, if you go to her Instagram page, it's Carla Grace Art, and she shares so much. It's quite amazing. She's I think an oil painter or acrylic painter, I can't remember, but she's been creating this beautiful horse image, and she used AI as the reference. So she created the reference from a photo from another photographer of a horse, and then she put all of her ideas in. And like she explains in this post, because this cause created a lot of chat, which is great. We need discussion about the subject. But she's got here, she didn't replace the creative part of the process at all. If anything, it fueled it, because I had to describe every element I had envisioned, which made me see it more clearly. And then I was able to take it much further each time. It gave me more ideas and actually made my creative mind much more stimulated. For me, it made the creation of the reference much more tangible and creative. So, which I totally agree with her statement there, that I think coming up when we're trying, like I say in my membership all the time, where I always try and encourage everyone to start to use their own photos. So to get started, of course, copyright-free reference photos are great. Pixabay is a great source, and there's a few others. But eventually, as you grow as an artist, you're going to want to start coming up with your own ideas and use your own images. Sometimes I also encourage maybe using a copyright-free image off the net, combining it with something of your own. Like, we're trying to come up as artists for totally unique ideas, that we're trying to come up with paintings that people have never seen before and ideas people haven't seen before. So there's so many tools that can help us with that. And that's why I think the AI is just another tool. It's just like you get your reference photo off Pixabay and you might change it with one of your own photos and add it. Whereas with the AI in regards to Carla's image, she's got this beautiful flowing, it's like a horse. If you go in there and have a look, the horse, its mane, it kind of goes into fabric, like a sheer fabric. And she was putting flowers on there, which is what I think she probably generated in her AI image. But now she's totally changed that and is putting embroidery on the fabric now instead. So it's just a small tool in the whole process of helping come up with ideas, which is it's to stimulate your brain. To, like I always say, we've got to build our creative bank. So I feel it's a really good way. But if you do get on any AI sites, you'll soon realize they're quite difficult to get. It takes a bit, and you've got to word it really precise to get what you want across and conveyed. Karen, I think that AI should be doing housework while I imagine and create. Yeah, definitely. Actually, my best times of thinking is driving in the car. But I don't like housework, so I try and avoid it a lot. But any of those mind-numbing sort of things that we do, I feel that's when our brain starts to think of ideas, because we've gone off into that, we're not thinking, I suppose. So it's allowing our brain space to start to let these ideas come in, which I've talked about this before, actually, in that, I think it was in the Big Magic book, where, if you're busy all the time and your mind's going 100 miles an hour, and that's what I think also, with the reels and the TikToks and all that, where it's totally stimulating our brains all the time, we don't leave room to be able to create and think about things like that. So we definitely have to let our brains rest sometimes, and that's where I think meditation is great. Maybe just going out, laying down, staring at the clouds, doing housework, driving in the car, radio off, things like that, just to let our minds rest. And then we'll start to come up with some amazing ideas for our paintings. And then one of the ideal things where we can use AI to help is it can help us get what we visualize in our head out. So, everyone says, like, it never looks like what I'm thinking in my head. I've got this idea, but I can't get it to paper. It's quite a common problem. Whereas you could get on an image generator and start to type out what you're thinking in your head, and let it start to produce images, and then you can refine it more and you can add this and add that. So it's just, like I said, it's just another tool to create, to help with our creative process and getting things out of our head onto paper. And in that way of using AI, I think is totally fine, because you're not telling it to create from anyone else's artwork, or you're just trying to get an idea of what a picture should look like, of what you're thinking in your head. So that, to me, is still totally unique. It's where with AI, you can tell it you want to create something in the painting style of a particular artist. And if they're a well-known artist, of course, because AI, it grabs all bits of information from the web, tiny little bits, and puts it all together. So that is where I think you could come into problems with, it being not ethical, I suppose, when you tell it to create it in the style of, some famous artist, and then you just use that image and totally repaint that image. But I really think coming up with your own ideas, even uploading your own images to help, but it's a great tool to get that idea out of your head. Here, Angel, sorry. I just joined in the live stream, curious about this using AI to help create. Also, you could use AI to make your drawings come to life by making it move, talk, etc. Yes, I've been looking at some sites. I was going to share one, Angel, and yeah, it's mind-blowing what they can do now. It's improving so quickly. So anyway, so I've got some benefits here I was writing down. So like I said, you can visualize your concepts you had in your mind that can help get it out. So of course, inspiration and exploration, even just looking through, usually when you go to an image generator, there's other people's work that or artwork, not artwork, AI images they've created. Usually you can scroll down and see them all. So that can give you some great ideas as well. You can go, oh, I love that color over there, or I love the way the clouds are in this image, or I love certain aspects. So it's just like going to an art gallery, I suppose, and getting inspired by other artworks. You can be inspired by new ideas and styles that other people have created. So it's good for inspiration and exploration. The benefit of AI is it can streamline certain aspects of your creative process. So maybe you're struggling with a background, and you could get on there and try and look at some different background effects, some textures. It could help with initial sketching, maybe trying to do thumbnail ideas. Because usually when you some of the newer AI ones, you can put in what you want, and then it can give you like 4 or 5 options. So you could get it to come up with an image, and then you could say, I want the light maybe coming from the right hand side, or I want the view coming from below looking up, or overhead view. So, and it'll spit out the different variations, so that can help with thumbnailing to get your initial idea. So you might have this idea in your head, and you're not sure what position or which way you want the light to come from. So that's a quick way. So that's why it can be more efficient and save a bit of time to give you some ideas and really help there. And of course, experimenting with like I was saying, the compositions, different styles, all of that sort of stuff, a lot quicker. And then color palette, that was another one I had written down. Actually, you could tell it to do it in different color palettes, so then you can pick which sort of style, which colors you think are going to work best. All different things like that. Normally, as an artist, that's our creative play and experimenting. So you may not want to have that process sped up in any way. You might, because especially like color palette and that, it's really good learning for you to do it yourself. But it's just something, if you prefer to speed the process up or give yourself some more ideas, then that it can be a benefit. I did see another comment that someone put, that they don't actually use image generators to help in their art practice, but they do use ChatGPT to create a schedule for them for their art practice, to because they were struggling with finding time and all the rest, which I talked about last week. So they got ChatGPT. They obviously put in what they do each day and all the rest of it, and asked them to do a schedule for them of when they should be doing their art practice. And they said it worked really well. So I will share some sites in a minute, Karen, if you want to have a play. Unfortunately, not some are free, but sort of have credits, so they allow you to use a few each day. Sometimes, other times they want you to pay. I suppose as the technology is getting better, they're wanting money. So, all right. So that was some benefits. Some potential problems could be loss of originality, which if you're over reliant on AI generated images without sort of incorporating your own personal creativity and originality into it. So, like I was saying, if you just create the image and on AI and then just repaint that image, I feel like you're using it as a reference, not as a total full painting. So you need to add other bits to it, I think, as well. So there's also ethical concerns. A lot of people still have a lot of problems with AI generated images because they feel it's stealing, plagiarism, all of that. Whereas I don't really see it that way. Some people, yes, definitely are using it in that way. And especially if they're typing in a particular artist that has a very distinct style. And then they're just creating that image and then making prints and putting it on mugs and bags and all the rest, and then selling it, which that happens a lot, of course. Then I think it's you could start to be saying you're stealing another artist's work in that way, even though it's an original image. If the style is very distinct, I think it could run into problems. So there's still a lot of people that a lot of artists that don't like AI. But like I said before, I think with me, it's just another tool for us to use, and I think it's here to stay. And one of the other main things is distinguishing between AI and not, and that's where your discussion and being open to it and getting to know what it does and how you can, if you see more and more, you'll probably start to recognize them more. And then dependency is another potential harm if you're relying on it too much and you're not starting to create your own ideas just out in your surroundings. Nothing's better than painting what you know and where you live, sort of thing. So I always encourage everyone to get outside, go and look at what they've got in their own surroundings. It's unique to you and it's your perspective then, totally. Okay, so so there's some harms. All right, I had some pros, which I think I've already gone through, but I'll just say a couple more. So again, exploring some different styles. So you could put in that you want to try in, abstract realism, surrealism, all of those different styles, and you could maybe create your own image, but then tell it to put these different styles. If you're still exploring and you're not sure what style you want, but for me, realism is more my thing. So, which that again can run into a lot of problems when we use photo references because we are doing realism. You want to try and change it, or that's where your copyright free is really important. So you could use it to generate prompts, starting points for your artwork, which will help spark your imagination, combining elements, so mixing and matching different elements. So, so you could have different landscapes with different animals or whatever, or a street scene with different cars or whatever you're coming up with in your imagination. And that it's a good way to have a little play with that. And then, like I said before, color palette and texture you can play with, and exploring conceptual ideas. So you could really explore with it. And we all, as artists, we see better in picture form than in word form. So that's where I think it can really come in handy to get some of them ideas out of your head. But like I said before, I think educating yourself on it, because I do think it's here to stay. So I think educating yourself on it, and also being transparent if you are using it. But like I was saying earlier, you don't, if you totally created it yourself using your own images, all the rest of it, then you don't need to tell anyone where you got your reference from. But it's quite, you can, like, in the process of creating, especially if you're trying to build your art business on social media, people want to see your behind the scenes. They want to see your process. And also, I think sharing your process proves to people that you are hand painting or hand drawing or hand creating your art. That totally removes any question that it's just a image or a digital image or a print or whatever. They can see you actually working, but you can be transparent and really show the process of creating your ideas by using AI if you want, and educating people that there's nothing wrong with it as another tool for artists to come up with ideas. So but sharing your work in progress, always make sure you take photos of your work in progress, because Gillian down on the art retreat, she had Hailey Willis down there for a retreat, and she's one of Australia's leading sort of botanical realist artists, and her work is amazing. But she entered a competition or something, and she was refused because they believed it was an AI generated image, which it wasn't. She takes like 100 hours to do a painting. But but the way to overcome any of that is you just send them a work in progress and say, well, it's not, here's my work in progress. So that's why you should always take photos of that. And like I said, people building your social media, people want to see all of that behind the scenes stuff. You know, and definitely highlight your role, like your process, your role in how you create it all. Yeah, and I think that really helps, and to foster dialogue, so discussion and talk about it openly, and this sort of chat. That's why I think it's really important, because it's some people just instantly are on, no, AI, it's bad, it's wrong, it's stealing, it's this and that. But when you actually start to look at it and understand it, it can be really helpful for us as well. So all right, I wanted to share a couple of sites here. Just let me. All right. Okay, there. I'll put a link to these. Hold on. Just gotta move this around so we can see. Hold on. I gotta share my screen. Oh god. Okay, share. Okay. So this one here, this is Deep Dream Generator. Okay, so like I was saying earlier, this one, you can just go through and scroll through and get some ideas, like, you know, just look at what other people have come up with. And the more you look at these, the more you'll see it's AI generated. But this, you might say this one with this girl and dog, you might love that that style, or you might love this watercolor background effect here, or there could be the different things in it that you're loving, that you might try and convey in your own work. You know, you're not going to copy that image, but you might try this style of this really loose grass with these beautiful sort of, I don't know whether it's watercolor or what it is, but it's a gorgeous style. Let's see, you know, you might decide, oh, I love those flowers there, or just different things. But just that's what I was saying, just by scrolling through can give you some ideas and inspiration. It's like, to me, it's sort of like if you went and walked around an art gallery. So this one here, this Deep Dream Generator, I'll put it in the, hold on, just bear with me while I lost the Facebook page. Hold on, I'm just going to quickly put that one, paste. I'm going to put them all in. Sorry, let's go back to it. Where was it? This one. So this one here, it works on when you sign up and you get 20 credits. Okay. I think you get 20 credits a day, so you can have a play. So you go to pre-AI image generator, you describe what you want, you can add a visual prompt, and then you hit generate. Okay. But like I said, you'll find it takes a lot of description and that to start to get things to come to what you want it to be. But yeah, you have to be logged in and you get your 20 credits a day. Okay, I wouldn't, if you're just starting to play with this, I would not pay for anything. Okay, you're just playing, so you want it free. Then I came across this one. This was amazing. This is what Angel was talking about in the chat about what they can do with video now. So these I thought would be amazing. So text to image is like that other one. You type in your text and it turns it to the image that you're sort of thinking. Image to image, which I thought this was pretty cool. You can put your image in and then it can give you different ideas of what to do. So you can see, hopefully, I hope you can see this. Let me, you should be able to see this page especially. So say you put a photo image in and it generates all different scenes, I suppose, for that image. But you never know, something might crop up in that could give you inspiration. Which was another one. Infinite image. This looked pretty amazing. So if you have I know myself as an artist, quite often I'll take a reference photo and I want, or it's an image, part of an image I've used, but I want it in a different setting, or I want it expanded bigger. So you can see here, this expands that image. Okay, so like this one here, it shows it started with just a small bit of flour, and you tell it as it expands what you want it to be. So you would have told it you wanted a vase and then a stone wall, that sort of stuff. Okay, there's a whole video explaining it here. Yeah, I won't go through the video, but they took this is quite an old master painting there of the girl with the basket, and they told it they wanted it to expand using the style of this art. So they put in the artist's name. So wanted to expand it with this style of art to a house on a hill and then a forest and all this sort of stuff. So it's a great video to watch, actually, because it really explains it well. And I've just upgraded to the latest Photoshop, and the Photoshop, if you have it, can do exactly this in Photoshop. And there's a whole tutorial on that as well. So it can expand your image, and it also can add, it's very primitive, but it can add, like the demonstration in Photoshop is a hillside, and you can tell it to add like a house with a red roof or a cow or things like that, and it will put them in there. So again, it's not, you're not going to use that as a finished print or something. You're using it as a reference and ideas to come up with what it would look like. So like the mountain with the house and the cow and all of that, like, yeah, you could be thinking in your head that you like this scene, you might want a rainbow, or you might, and it's all things like that you can add to it to help create what's in your head and just give you a better idea. And then this in painting, this one here, yeah, you can pull out things and put things, yeah, just remove things. So this one I think is more for video, actually. So, a lot of this AI stuff is coming into videos a lot, I found, more so than photos. So can you imagine if you were a film creator or whatever they're called? Yeah, you could. It would be so easy then to create your videos and films. You wouldn't have to retake the shot 100 times. You could just come into a studio like this and fix it up. Okay, so and then there was one more. So this one I think is worth having a play. There is it's free, but again, you got 125 credits. I have not played on here. Once those credits are up, then you have to start paying. But again, for free, it's probably great to get on there and have a play. So just let me throw this one in the chat as well. Okay, let me just go back one more. This one's scary. Okay, this is called This Person Does Not Exist. All right, .com. And every time you refresh the page, it brings up another person. And none of these people are real, even though they look like real people. So this is where, to me, it can become quite scary. Okay, so I don't know whether you would use that in any way in your art, but I thought it was something worth just showing. And so like you see that image generators, you can quite often tell that it's AI, whereas that this person is not real is very creepy. Yeah, it's definitely they look like proper photos of people. So yeah, but they're not actually real people. So I don't know. Anyway, it gives you an idea of the different things with it. So all right, but yeah, definitely I want to have a play on that runway one. But yeah, have a look, just think about it. You may never ever use AI, but make sure you're open-minded. And if you are stuck with creating something that you want to get out of your head, maybe then have a go on there and have a play. But yeah, by no means think of it as the be all end all to creating art. It's just another tool. And like I said, the more everyone talks about it, and not be just really closed off, because I think everyone was so scared when AI first came out, as artists especially, that oh my God, it's going to overtake art and people will stop buying paintings and all the rest, and they'll just use the AI ones and that. Whereas I don't believe that. Like I said, I think hand painted art, like what we do, will become more highly sought after, I suppose. And yeah, why not use it? Why not use the technology instead of being closed off from it? Use it to help us create new ideas and be inspired by different things, of course. So yeah, all right. 3D, this is a neat AI place. And this is a cool 3D. Okay, thanks for that, Angel. So Angel's put in a couple of other AI places you can check out. There's a lot on there. There were just a couple that I came across, but yeah, just look up AI image generator. But like I said, don't go paying for anything. Just have a play, and then yeah, see what you think. And you might find some of the sites are really hard to use, I think. Others are quite easy. So, but I think you will find when you're trying to generate an image, it takes a lot of goes, and refining your description to what it actually what it's coming up with, because it learns from all different images and all different things on the internet. So I saw a video, it was ChatGPT have a AI image generator. I think it's called Dell something. But like it was saying in the video description, that say if you put in a baboon, it brings up a heap of different baboon images that it's created from nothing. Like they don't exist. It puts it all together from all the different references. But if you are more specific with it and put, like, it had howler monkey, what it did then was it just created images of monkeys howling, sort of like a dog. So but as it learns more and more, the more people use them, the more it's learning from, because I suppose it takes different images, and if the description on the image isn't right, then it takes that. Like it may, like they had another example, if people put up a heap of plane images and put that it's a car, then the AI doesn't know the difference. So it might think the plane is the car. So it's working off the image description a lot of times. So yeah, so it's got to come up with the things, like I said, it learns more and more. So that's where, when you're typing in what you want it to create, sometimes it might not understand what you're saying. So another one it showed was a tree bark, and it had a tree trunk with a dog barking up the tree trunk. So yeah, but anyway, it's all improving, and it's definitely getting better and better. And there is also the scary side of it, like with that website I shared, this person does not exist. But we won't worry about that side. We're just concerned with how it can either disadvantage or benefit us as artists. So that was what I just wanted to chat about and make sure everyone, understood. And it's good to talk about it. Great to get everyone's opinions. If you hate it, let me know. If you disagree with me, definitely let me know. Or if you can think of other ways that it might help us as artists to help with our creative flow and what we're trying to put on the paper. So, all right, guys. And if you come across another AI site that you think you want to share, put that in the comments too. So, all right. I hope this was informative. I hope it gave you something to think about, and definitely a few things to go and play with today. And next Tuesday morning is our draw along. So if you haven't already downloaded this, just go to my main page, Kezart, and go to events. And next week's Tuesday chat is the draw along, and the download for this is in the discussion. Okay, so you can either, you can't really see it very well, there's a line art here. We're going to do it in graphite pencil, so you don't need many supplies. You can either draw straight on your printout, or I'm actually going to transfer mine onto some watercolor. I use Archer's hot press watercolor paper, is my favorite for drawing on. So I'm going to transfer mine across onto that. So if you are transferring line art, make sure you've got it transferred onto your paper ready to go on next Tuesday morning at 9 o'clock. Okay, I've also, if you're on my email list, I've emailed everyone out this as well. And I will also put it, if you're in my membership, I'll put that in the essentials and the premium tier Facebook groups as well, just so you've got it, you can get to it easily. Okay. And the draw alongs on your birthday, Beck. Awesome. Oh, well, what a great way to spend the morning of your birthday. Have a nice big brekkie, and then sit down and do some drawing with me. Okay. So like I said, I picked graphite just because I didn't want everyone to have to go and buy a heap of stuff. So just some graphite pencils and a rubber essentially is all you're going to need. And I also have a special offer for the essentials tier coming, which I'll share that as well next week. So, all right, guys, thank you for joining me again, and I will see you all next week. Bye.